Why wouldn't they devour Mendoza? The Flood obviously had no problem killing Mendoza, but maybe due to something in Mendoza's blood or his genetic makeup, they weren't able to assimilate him into the Horde. The Flood is a type of parasite, and unfortunately for humans, parasites are pretty difficult to develop immunity to. This is due to the fact that parasites are made up of eukaryotic cells, which are much like our own cells. They are much different from viruses or bacteria, which are much simpler organisms. For this reason, immunity to parasites is very rare and oftentimes only happens when you live in a part of the world where that parasite is endemic, meaning it lives there normally. So it's pretty unlikely that the Flood, being something that humans have never been in contact before, would not be able to infect Mendoza. When you watch a video infecting a human and it happens so quick and so violently, you have to wonder, why would they leave Mendoza's body there? In this section of the cutscene, you also see that this elite wasn't taken either. This elite was just laying on the ground and has a giant open wound in his chest. We see elite Flood forms later on in this mission, so obviously the Flood was taking hold of elites. Why leave this to get the hell out of there, or take a blood sample of this elite so they could maybe study why it wasn't devoured by the Flood. The Flood's biggest advantage, and one of the reasons it could take over the entire galaxy and even universe, is the fact that one tiny little spore can take over an army. In Halo First Strike, it is found out that Johnson is actually immune to the Flood after his close contact with them. This would definitely prove in the lore that someone can be immune to the Flood, and if we see that this elite and Mendoza were both killed but not assimilated, we could also prove that they are immune. Maybe if Chief had taken a blood sample of Mendoza, the human, Covenant, and Flood war would have been cut short, but then of course we, wouldn't have Halo 2 and 3, so kinda gotta give it to Mendoza. If you were able to take away the Flood's ability to assimilate an entire species, the enemy would still be tough, sure, because they're a giant swarm, but at least you wouldn't be adding to their numbers with every death. If we could somehow pass on immunity to all of the humans, especially our military in the UNSC, it would make dealing with the Flood a lot easier. Yes, they'd still be able to physically kill you like they did Mendoza, but they wouldn't be able to take your whole army and turn it against you. Who knows what would have happened if they'd just taken Mendoza's blood. Maybe we could have seen a whole different kind of Halo story, but I guess that wouldn't have made the story as interesting. But you know what I do find interesting? Your guys' comments. Seriously, go comment down below. It is my favorite part about all of YouTube. I really want to hear what you guys have to think. If you've never seen me before, please do make sure to subscribe, as I make a lot of these kind of videos, a lot of theories and weird ideas in my head about Halo. If you like this video, Audible is a service for a massive amount of audio subscribers, and Audible is currently offering a 30-day service. You'll get access to 2 free audiobooks, and yes, Halo novels are on audiobook and available right now. I personally like listening to of course, you can cancel any time. If you're interested in learning all about the Fall of Reach or a resident expert on what the ladies like, go down to the link in the description and just sign up for your absolutely free 30-day trial of Audible. And if this offer didn't already sound like the most notable thing you've ever heard, the 2 books you get with the trial are yours to keep forever, even if you cancel. So click on that link down in the video description to get your 2 free audiobooks with Audible completely risk-free. And as always, thank you for watching. Please stay notable, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. What's going on, Halo fans? Luke the Notable here. In this video, we'll be talking about why the newer Halo games don't have playable elites. Despite all of the extra customization options in Halo 4 and 5, there are no options for playable elites. There are well over 200 different armor variants, just armor in Halo 5, but no options to be an elite. The thing is, I think a lot of Halo fans think that this is a very simple option, that it's easy to bring back playable elites. Like there's some magic button somewhere at 343 Industries that brings back playable elites and all they have to do is press it, but they won't.
Because they want Halo to die.
Now don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of playable elites and I would